History isn't just shaped by great plans, bold visions, and brilliant leaders. It's also shaped by mistakes. Some were small blunders with huge consequences. Others were moments of arrogance, misplaced trust, or simple human error that changed the course of the world forever. These are the moments where one wrong move altered everything. The insult that destroyed an empire. In the early 1200s, Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire was at its height, feared across Asia. Yet he maintained an uneasy peace with the Khwarezmian Empire, a powerful state in Persia. Trade caravans moved between them, bringing silk, spices, and precious goods. They even fought together against common enemies. Then came a fateful incident. One Mongol caravan entered Khwarezmian territory, only for a local governor to seize its goods and kill its merchants. Genghis Khan, known for his ruthlessness in war but also his pragmatism in diplomacy, didn't attack immediately. Instead, he sent a delegation of envoys to the Shah, demanding the governor be punished. The Shah's reply was a deadly insult. He not only refused justice, he had one ambassador killed and sent his severed head back with the others. In Mongol culture, harming an envoy was unforgivable, a direct declaration of war. What followed was devastation on an unprecedented scale. Genghis Khan unleashed an invasion so thorough that city after city was wiped off the map. Conservative estimates put the death toll in the millions. The Khwarezmian Empire ceased to exist, and the Mongols swept further west into Persia, the Middle East, and even Europe. Had the Shah simply punished one corrupt governor, one of history's most destructive campaigns might never have happened. The submarine that gave away Nazi secrets. May 1941. The Battle of the Atlantic raged between German U-boats and Allied convoys. The German submarine U-110 was patrolling when it was attacked by British warships. Depth charges ripped through the water, damaging the vessel and forcing it to surface. The German crew abandoned ship, believing it would sink. But the U-boat stayed afloat long enough for British sailors to board. Inside, they found an intact Enigma encryption machine and the latest codebooks, the crown jewels of German naval communication. The capture gave British codebreakers at Bletchley Park a massive advantage in reading German messages, helping them anticipate U-boat attacks and protect convoys. To keep the secret, the British let U-110 sink and claimed everything had been lost. In reality, a single mistake, failing to destroy the sub before abandoning it, handed the Allies one of their greatest intelligence victories of the war. The emperor who trusted the wrong man in the 8th century, the Byzantine Empire was locked in a delicate standoff with Bulgaria. Emperor Constantine V had spies in the Bulgarian court, feeding him priceless military intelligence. Bulgaria's ruler, Khan Telerik, grew suspicious. Pretending he wanted to defect to Constantinople, he contacted Constantine, saying he feared for the lives of the Byzantine agents helping him. He asked for their names so he could protect them during his escape. Constantine, believing the lie, sent the list. The moment Telerik received it, he ordered every spy executed. In one stroke, the emperor's entire intelligence network in Bulgaria was wiped out, all because he trusted a man who outplayed him. The press conference that opened the Berlin Wall November 9, 1989. East Germany was crumbling under public protests. That evening, government spokesman Gunter Schabowski held a press conference about new travel rules. The plan was for the changes to take effect gradually. But when asked when they would start, Schabowski, flustered, replied, "Immediately." The word spread like wildfire. East Berliners swarmed border checkpoints. Confused guards, lacking orders and overwhelmed by the crowds, simply opened the gates. People poured through, embraced relatives, climbed the wall, and began chipping away at it. By midnight, 28 years of separation had ended, not through a planned reform, but because of a single off-the-cuff remark. The campaign that starved millions in 1958, Mao Zedong's For Pests campaign, sought to improve Chinese agriculture by eliminating rats, flies, mosquitoes, and sparrows, the last because they supposedly ate too much grain. Across China, people smashed nests, killed chicks, and drove the birds to near extinction. But sparrows also ate insects, especially locusts. With their predators gone, locust swarms exploded, stripping fields bare. This ecological disaster struck during the Great Chinese Famine, which killed tens of millions. By 1960, the government quietly ended the anti-sparrow campaign, too late to undo the damage. The invention that poisoned the world, Thomas Midgley Jr., an American engineer, seemed to have solved two major problems of the 20th century. In the 1920s, he added tetraethyl lead to gasoline to stop engine knocking, despite knowing it was poisonous. Workers handling it suffered hallucinations, illness, and death. Later, he invented Freon, the first chlorofluorocarbon refrigerant, which revolutionized cooling but was later found to destroy the ozone layer. His legacy became one of the most harmful in history. And in a grim twist, after being paralyzed by polio, Midgley built a system of ropes to lift himself from bed and accidentally strangled himself in it. The bear that nearly started nuclear war during the tense days of the Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962, a guard at A.U.S. base in Duluth, Minnesota, saw a shadowy figure climbing the fence and fired. The sabotage alarm blared, but due to a wiring error, another base interpreted it as the order to launch nuclear-armed jets. Pilots started their engines, ready to take off. At the last second, an officer raced onto the runway to wave them down. The mysterious intruder? A black bear. The engineer who armed the enemy in 1452, the Byzantine Empire was desperate for defenses against the rising Ottoman threat. Hungarian engineer Orban offered to build them advanced cannons, but they couldn't afford his price. He went to Sultan Mehmet II instead. In 3 months, Orban built the massive Basilica cannon, capable of firing 600-pound stones over a mile. When the Ottomans attacked Constantinople in 1453, the cannon blasted through its ancient walls, ending the Byzantine Empire after more than 1,000 years. The Disneyland trip that got a prince killed, Kim Jong-nam, eldest son of North Korean leader Kim Jong-il, was once considered heir apparent. But in 2001, he was caught entering Japan on a fake passport to visit Tokyo Disneyland. The incident embarrassed North Korea's leadership. Kim Jong-nam was quietly removed from the line of succession, replaced by his half-brother, Kim Jong-un. In 2017, Kim Jong-nam was assassinated in Malaysia, allegedly on Kim Jong-un's orders. The general who led his army into a trap. In 9 AD, Roman general Varus marched with 3 legions through the Teutoburg forest, guided by Arminius, a Germanic noble who had served Rome. But Arminius was secretly plotting rebellion. Deep in the forest, Germanic tribes ambushed the Romans. Over several days, the legions were annihilated. Rome abandoned plans to conquer northern Germany forever. The wrong guess on D-Day. Before the Allied invasion of France in 1944, German intelligence suspected the landing would be at Calais. Hitler split his forces between Calais and Normandy, weakening both. Even after the Allies stormed Normandy's beaches, many Germans believed it was a diversion. By the time reinforcements arrived, it was too late. D-Day became the turning point of the war in Europe. The sale of Alaska. In 1867, Russia sold Alaska to the United States for $7.2 million, fearing it couldn't defend the territory from Britain. Critics mocked it as Seward's folly. But the land turned out to be rich in gold, oil, and fisheries. The purchase became one of the most profitable land deals in history. The conqueror who planned no succession. Alexander the Great built the largest empire of the ancient world in just over a decade and left no clear heir. When he died suddenly in 323 BC, his generals carved the empire into warring kingdoms. His dream of a unified East-West realm died with him. The mistake that found a new world. Christopher Columbus believed the Earth was smaller than it is and that Asia extended farther east. His miscalculation convinced Spain to fund a westward voyage. Instead of reaching Asia, he landed in the Americas, changing history forever. The treaty that helped start another war, the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, ended World War I, but imposed crushing penalties on Germany. Economic hardship and national humiliation fueled extremist politics, paving the way for Adolf Hitler in World War II. The wall that didn't cover all angles, France's Maginot Line, was a vast network of fortifications along its border with Germany, but it left Belgium and the Ardennes forest lightly defended. In 1940, Germany simply went around it, rendering the fortifications useless. The invasion that broke the invader, Operation Barbarossa, Germany's 1941 invasion of the Soviet Union, began with massive victories. But harsh winters, stretched supply lines, and fierce Soviet resistance turned it into a war Germany could not win. Millions died, and the Eastern Front became the graveyard of Nazi ambitions. The wrong turn that sparked World War I. June 28, 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand's motorcade survived an earlier assassination attempt in Sarajevo. But later that day, his driver took a wrong turn, right past one of the conspirators, Gavrilo Princip. Princip fired, killing the Archduke and his wife. That wrong turn triggered a chain of alliances and ultimatums that erupted into World War I.